profound impact of Dean Lindo on the United Democratic Party as its foremost leader and chief political strategist is still felt across the organization decades after he rose to prominence in the late 60s. Career politician and fellow U.D.P stalwart Michael Finnegan came up under Lindo's tutelage.
I give most of my success, if not all my success, to Dean Lindo. Everything that I have done in my life, I have learned from Dean Lindo. Oh yes, I have improved on what he taught me, but everything was from Dean Russel Lindo. My first campaign was with Calvin Young in 1965. I campaigned for Calvin Young in 1965. He is alive and he is living proof to that. My second campaign was with Dean Lindo in 1969. And brother, I will repeat again, the PUP was not easy to beat. The PUP, this entire country was PUP. The people in Belize believe in George Price and believe in the PUP.
Despite the overwhelming support for the People's United Party at the time, Lindo and the fledgling political movement to which he belonged held true to his ideals and philosophy.
I thought that George Price did strike me as being sincere. Whoever was who struck me as being a sincere man. As I say, he went through a hard time. He was always fighting. He was alone in the National Assembly. He was later election joined by Edwin Morley from Moncur. But it was, well, to me, they struck me as being more sincere, more concerned about people and the problems that people were facing at the time.
Also owing her knowledge and fervor for politics to Lindo is former U.D.P Colored-era representative Faith Babb. She was the first woman to be elected to the House of Representatives by the United Democratic Party.
I met Mr. Lindo at Ken Tillett's house. He lived on the same street that we lived on Richard Street, and he was about at the time to form the PDM, the People's Democratic Movement, and I was interested because at the time you were having U.D.P and other people, other organizations, right, that were sort of political, but it wasn't something that we could join because they were all grown people, right? So being a little enabler would have been just okay for me. So because of the relationship with Ken Tillett and Mr. Lindo, they started having meetings at his house. So then I used to go across to the Tillets and be a part of the meeting. And when I found out what was taking place, I wanted to be involved.
But being involved as a member of the up-and-coming U.D.P was often challenging. Lindo speaks of the difficulties faced under his political opponents.
George Price, he was a rough customer. In fact, his whole philosophy was, I shall reward my friends and punish the enemies, and he lived up to that, believe me. But there was a time when in IP we had to go out of town. They banned us from having meetings in the city, and we had to go out of town by cemetery. They had to hold meetings. In fact, they attacked people, the supporters attacked. They actually attacked Ken Tillett, Finnegan, and them when they went into the, at the time it was the Colored Division. They literally attacked them.
Finnegan also recalls those days and the fact that there were defectors in the National Independence Party.
People who were in our party switched from our party and joined the People's United Party because they wanted to win. Did you know the then Deputy Prime Minister, or the first Deputy Prime Minister, Lindy Rogers, was just founder of the National Independence Party with Philip Wilson?
Didn't know that.
Yes, and he switched from the National Independence Party to join George Price and the PUP.
Opposite of Goldston, who left George Price and PUP.
Exactly.
Lindo, in his own words during his final interview last month, shared how the United Democratic Party was formed.
By this time, I wasn't NIP, I was PDM. But we decided eventually that it didn't make sense to be fighting separately. We better join forces because it was divide and conquer so that they could split up the three parties were divided. So then we joined NIP and PDM joined. Then eventually the Liberals joined us. That was how we formed the U.D.P.
Bob's foray into politics is also attributed to Dean Lindo, whom she says taught her and others how to be confident in the political arena.
He taught us how to be fearless. Don't be afraid. Once you know that you're doing the right thing and you believe it from within, stand up and put up a fight for what you want. And with that, I was able to understand that it will take a lot out of you. You will have to be strong. And I never hesitated to attempt to do the things that I knew were right.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.